Hi everyone, today I'm going to walk you through the differences between Dubsado and Hello Bonsai to help you decide which one's best for your business. Hi, I'm Lainey. I'm a wedding invitation designer and I love to help other creative entrepreneurs run profitable, successful businesses. And I think the key to that is having the right client management system for you. I'm going to show you two today that I love. Dubsado is what I still personally use for my business. Hello Bonsai is a new one that I'm exploring, and there's a few other ones that you can check out on our channel. We have a client management system playlist where I go through different features of a lot of different platforms to help you decide which one's best for your business. I also will have some discount links for both of these platforms in the description of this video, so check those out. I'm a certified Dubsado specialist, so I do have a little bit higher discount on Dubsado. If you're interested, you can get 30% off your first month or first year. So this is my dashboard for Hello Bonsai. I really like it. Something about the interface reminds me of Dubsado. I feel like they used maybe one of the similar templates, similar website builder to use this platform. You may not agree. I get it. It's different. There's a lot more color and stuff. But I just feel like it's a nice, clean version of Dubsado in my opinion. So I think it looks nicer. This is not necessarily what your client's going to see, so I wouldn't make a huge decision based on that. My first impression after exploring Hello Bonsai is that it's really good for anyone who tracks billable hours or bills on an hourly rate. So you have the start timer up here, really front and center. And whenever you create a project, you can check this hourly rate and click your hourly rate, and then it'll allow you to bill an invoice based on that. You can also add it in your invoices. So if you open an invoice and you go into the settings, you can tell it to show the link to your timesheet on invoices so that it will send that automatically and clients can see what you've spent time on, which I think is really cool. I have it hiding that because I don't bill an hourly rate, but I think it's really cool. It also has this option to include 3 decimal values. So if you're like a book editor and you charge 0.2 cents per word, then you can use that here. And I think that's really awesome. That's something I haven't seen in any of the other systems. Another thing I love here is this default late fee. So you can just put in like 5%, and then the month after, the day after the due date passes, it'll add 5% per month from that point, and it'll go ahead and add that to the invoice, which I think is awesome. Does allow tipping. Dubsado allows that too, and I highly recommend adding the tipping option. You won't always get it, but I get tipped by clients that I never expected to get tipped by all the time. It's really nice. And then another thing I love here on the invoices, this is one of my favorite parts of Hello Bonsai, is these invoice settings, is that you can lock the attachments until the invoice is paid. So if you have deliverables for a client and you want to go ahead and send those over and say, hey, I've done the work, they don't get access to that until the invoice is paid, which I really like. Dubsado also does have a time tracker over here in utilities, but I will say that it's not kind of like front and center. It's not as big of a deal as it is over in Hello Bonsai. So if if you're feeling really equal between these by the end of the video, but you use billable hours and hourly rate, then I think the time tracker is probably better in Hello Bonsai. In Dubsado, your whole setup is really by project. So when you click on this projects, you'll be able to see all of your different projects. You can see their invoices and how much they've paid. You can sort and filter by a lot of different things. And then you can customize these buckets up here. I call them buckets. So within leads, you can have different levels of like followed up once, followed up twice, qualified. Within the job, you can have things like proofs sent over, a second round of proofs, we're working on design, etc. These are things I use for my stationery business. So you can customize this and then you can click and see, and you can also use them in the workflow capabilities, which I'll talk about in a minute. So this is really divided by project, and you have to go into an individual project to see like invoices, forms, everything that's associated with that project. Hello Bonsai does have projects, and you can look at that view. However, you can also do things like seeing the invoices all at once, seeing the proposals all at once, and I think that's pretty cool. So if your business is really project-based, Dubsado is going to format in a way that makes sense to you. If you want more of a high-level view of everything over all at once, I think Hello Bonsai is kind of cool in how it does that. And within the projects, you'll see a lot of the same stuff. You can add collaborators here, which I think is really unique. It is not done super well in a lot of these platforms. Tasks, you can upload just a random file like this cute picture of my dog. You can forward from your emails. So the emails will be collected here. And you can see, of course, invoices, forms, documents. Something that I love here is when you create a contract for a client, there's these contract templates that were provided. So basically I chose from drop downs all these like yellow fields, not even all of them, some of them it filled in for me. And then it created this whole contract for me. You can also create a generic or a brand new contract. So if you like some of these things, but you want to customize it further, I like that you can do that. Dubsado has template libraries for a lot of things. I don't think they have contract template libraries at this point. I could be wrong on that, but I just like that this is established by industry in all of your projects. They have the contracts available. Something that you're missing here, I feel, is the canned emails. So in Dubsado, you can go into your canned emails and you can set a ton of different things. These are the established template ones that are already in there. And they even have more templates. So whenever you send an invoice, there's a specific email that goes with that. And you can use smart fields of all sorts. Let me show you some of the options. Within project, there's a lot of stuff about that. There's a lot of stuff about the client. You can put in the invoice, my business. So this will have my information, different dates, links to other forms, other invoices, other contracts on their projects, a client portal, or appointments. They have an appointment scheduler in Dubsado that's pretty robust, whereas Hello Bonsai integrates with Calendly, which is pretty robust in itself. So if you're already using Calendly, Hello Bonsai will integrate well with that. So these smart fields are really unique and cool. And then you can also just set up any kind of canned email. So for instance, if there's one that I always send about formatting your address list for your invitations, I can create a canned email that's like, hey, here are some common things that I see. Here's my template that you can download. Here are some blog posts you can look at with further information. And then I'll have that ready to go and can send it with like 2 clicks. And I can even have it fill in dates, times, venues, etc. from the client's information in that particular project. They even have custom map fields. So if you want something to automatically fill in for like venue or due date or something like that, you can make that happen. I have a whole nother video on that. So I think that in some ways, Hello Bonsai is lacking a little bit in the canned email department. If that's not something that's that important to you, that's okay. And you can set them up with these automations. So they talk a lot about their automations. They kind of brag a lot about it. And I think it's pretty good. So when you can have it say like when a proposal is accepted, you can send an email, you can send a form or schedule a meeting. I think these are great. These are really popular things that you'll want to do. And the actions that you can do are probably the most common actions that you're going to want to put together. So in this way, you can create kind of a canned email as long as it's attached to a specific trigger action. So you can create it so it'll send the same email every time a proposal is accepted, for instance. However, all of these automations are pretty cool, but they are standalone. You can't really put them together in any kind of workflow format. So like after the proposal is accepted, send this, then 3 days later, do this thing, then 3 days later, do this thing. You can just do all of those things kind of individually. Dubsado has workflow templates, which are, I would say Dubsado is the best automation platform as far as client management system. They've focused a lot on these workflows and they can do a lot of different things. Let me show you the different actions. There's so many. So as opposed to send forms, send email, or schedule a meeting with Calendly, there's a lot of different things. You can move the project between different statuses, tag them, emails, activate their portal. There's a client portal with Dubsado, which is something I haven't seen with Hello Bonsai. I don't personally use the portal, but it's something that a lot of people do. And if that's important to house all the documents, invoice, projects, etc. for a client, then the portal is really cool here. You can even like hold actions, send an appointment scheduler, do a lot of different things here. And you have the ability to say when. So all the different triggers, you can see there's quite a few more than there are here. So you can do things after, before, pretty much anything. And one thing that I like is after a form is not completed. So if you send over a form and 3 days later they haven't completed it, you can send another reminder, which is pretty cool logic. They don't have, at this point, conditional logic. That's something that they're working on. I haven't seen any system that has conditional logic. That would be like, if the client takes this action, do this. If the client does this, do something different. So, but that's a way that you can kind of work around it, is if they don't fill out the form, send this email. If they do fill out the form, do something else instead. Okay, one place that I think Hello Bonsai is a little ahead is in accounting. Dubsado does integrate with QuickBooks. So if you already use QuickBooks, you can go ahead and integrate that. I think it's a pretty good integration. The one thing that's a little weird is that Dubsado only takes payments through outside carriers like Stripe, Squarespace, or Stripe, Square, or PayPal. So if you, for instance, send an invoice for $100, it will show up in your QuickBooks as $100. But then when the payment comes in through Stripe, it will show up as $97 because they took out a 3% approximately fee for that transaction. So you're going to get kind of two different things, and you're going to have to go into that $97 payment and then add the $3 transaction fee in there. So I think that's a little bit weird. I actually use Dubsado for a lot of my payments, and I use QuickBooks, but I haven't integrated the two for that reason. So I just include the payments as they come in and then add in the Stripe fees later on, kind of in bulk. I don't think that Hello Bonsai is any specifically better than QuickBooks or a great substitute for QuickBooks, but if you are using really simple accounting and you don't have a lot of transactions coming in from outside of your system, if this is where most of your transactions come in, then I think that their accounting is a little bit better. They have this nice chart of accounts. You can add expenses in each project individually pretty easily. You can edit your categories. They have this upgrade for $10 a month for taxes, where it will help you find deductible expenses. You can download a Schedule C pretty much filled out, and it will remind you about quarterly taxes. And I think that's honestly really cool. I also like that you can share this link with your accountant, because that's not something that I've seen from a lot of other systems. That's something we do in QuickBooks, and my accountant really loves it because she can just dive in there and help me out with things. So I think it's a little better if you're collecting payments from a lot of different places like Etsy, your website, in-person markets, etc., then you'll have to enter those manually. So in that case, I feel like you will want a more robust system like QuickBooks as a separate thing. Dubsado does have, sources, project breakdown, invoices, transactions, chart of account. They can pull reports like profit and loss, but it's just not robust. It's not something that they've really focused on, and I don't think that it's the most amazing reporting system. In Dubsado, you have all of these different types of forms that you can do templates for, contracts and sub-agreements, questionnaires, proposals, and then lead capture. Lead captures are cool because you can embed them on your website. When someone fills them out, it automatically creates a project for you in Dubsado. In Hello Bonsai, there's forms that you can create. There's not really different types. They're all kind of divided up, but you can create a form, which is basically like a questionnaire in here. And there's a lot of different options for the type of questions. So you can do text response, single, files download, files upload, lots of different things that you can do, which is nice. And then when you go to share this, any of your forms can be embedded. And then that will automatically come into Hello Bonsai. So I think it's kind of nice. You can make a questionnaire that's embeddable. In theory, you can technically do the same thing by just making a questionnaire into a lead capture, or even to some extent you can drag things over. But I think it's cool that you can just embed all of the forms. However, they don't have quite as much like templating capability. And then they have packages in Dubsado where you can set up a package. So I could set up a package for that has design fee and all my production fees for invitations, and has like 10 different line items on it. And then when I'm in an invoice, I can go into packages and just specifically click that package, and it will add on as many items as in that package. I haven't found that capability here in Hello Bonsai. When you go to create an invoice, you are generally either using a template or creating it kind of from scratch. So it's pretty easy to add things in here like design fee, $15 million. But there's not this package. So if you have 9 different things on your invoice, then you will have to add and update them as you go. So overall, I find that the interface is a little bit nicer in Hello Bonsai. I think that it's a little bit more piecemeal over here. So if that's something that works well for your business, I can definitely see that working for some businesses. If you want to see all invoices at a time, if you want to be duplicating a lot of invoices, if your business runs a little bit more of a simple workflow, I think this will work really well. And especially if you bill on an hourly basis, this is going to be a great system for you. Dubsado it's very project heavy. So if you like to do things in projects, and then you can really put a lot of things together under one project umbrella, then I think this is a good system for you. So I see two different types of businesses really benefiting from both these systems. It's not to say that there's anything Hello Bonsai like really doesn't have that I would need to run an invitation business. But I work with, maybe 10 clients at a time over a very long period of time. And we have a lot of different back and forth within each one. So project-based works really well for my business. And I have a lot of files and things that I upload there. If you are maybe a coach, if you are a photographer and you're sending very similar packages to everyone, and you don't have a ton of like deliverables that need to go in there, I think this is a great system, Hello Bonsai, and it's a little bit simpler. It's also a tiny bit cheaper. I think that, a few dollars a month shouldn't make your decision. You should really make your decision for your business based on the features and the capabilities of the platform and which one works best for you. But if you want to, I do have discount links for both these systems that are going to be in the description of this video. So that can help you out with it a little bit. For instance, Hello Bonsai starts at $19 a month. But if you do want forms and accounting and some other stuff, it goes up to $29. And then that tax feature is an additional $10 a month. At this moment, Dubsado is $35 a month or $350 if you purchase yearly. So you get 2 free months. And then if you use my code, you can actually get 30% off that, making them really close, if not almost exactly the same price. So don't let price be a big decider for you, but check out some of the other videos on both these systems that are on my CMS playlist that I'll link for you in the corner of this video. And let me know what questions you have about Dubsado versus Hello Bonsai.